The International Criminal Court has upheld an appeal by Kenyan Deputy President William Ruto denying prosecutors the use of recanted testimonies. The Friday ruling is seemingly a big blow to the ICC prosecutor's case and what will be seen as a major victory by the Kenyan government. Judge Piotr Hofmanski said the court had interpreted the rules too narrowly on using such evidence. Ruto and his co-accused, journalist Joshua Arap face 3 crimes against humanity charges, namely murder, forcible deportation and persecution after disputed elections in December 2007. Prosecutors say more than 1,300 people died and some 600,000 others were left homeless in Kenya's worst wave of politically motivated violence.
The trial chamber committed legal errors in interpreting the notion of detriment too narrowly, finding that the rule had not been applied retroactively and in finding that this had not been detrimental to the accused. The appeals chamber decided to reverse the impunity decision to the extent that prior recorded testimony was admitted under amended Rule 68 of the rules for the truth of its contents.
Let's get more analysis and perspectives on this development. Brenda Waddle is a legal analyst. She joins us live from Johannesburg in South Africa. Brenda, the decision to disallow the use of recanted evidence has been hailed by some as a victory for Kenya's Deputy President William Ruto. Do you see it as having a significant bearing on his case moving forward?
Well, it would, and good day to all the viewers, Pepina. It's going to have quite an impact on the trial itself, and even though it is seen as a victory for Mr. Ruto and Mr. Sang, it is actually just those, the appeal chamber of the ICC applying the rules of interpretation correctly. Remember that this trial commenced in September of 2013. The rule was amended in November of 2013. Now, in terms of the principle of legality, you cannot retrospectively apply legislation. Legislation or amendments to legislation have to apply going forward and not retrospectively, and that is the technicality on which the appeal chamber then ruled or upheld the appeal by Ruto and Mr. Sang.
Now, the initial decision from the trial chamber allowing the use of the recanted evidence in this case contributed in a large part to the controversy that saw African leaders at the recent AU summit vote in favor of setting up a process towards a mass exit from the court. So, to what extent, Brenda, in your evaluation, do you think the political considerations on this matter may have influenced the decision by the appeals chamber?
Now, you see, I don't think that had an impact at all, because the justices of the appeal chamber were under an obligation to apply and to correctly interpret those provisions and the amendments and Rule 68 of the rules of procedure as well as evidence. But remember that the allegations here, and this is why the prosecution is going to view this as a blow, the allegations are that recounted evidence, those witnesses or many of those witnesses came back and changed the evidence which they had initially given, and the suggestion therefore is that they were bribed or influenced or coerced into making or making an about turn from what they had initially testified. I don't think it's really going to impact. The view about the ICC generally is that African leaders are hounded, and this is what was highlighted at the AU summit. This has been advanced for those who support the fact that Omar al-Bashir was able to leave South Africa, but it is going to be, we are headed for interesting times, and we'll see which of the African states which are signatories to the Rome Statute will actually pull out of the Rome Statute and by implication the International Criminal Court.
All right, let's leave it there for now. Brenda Waddle live for us there in Johannesburg. Many thanks, Brenda.